This is the best moments of the BBQ Central show in 10 minutes or less. Ever wish you could re-listen to your favorite interview or segment? Do you enjoy hearing older shows for the first time in years? Then the best moments of the BBQ Central show in 10 minutes or less is just what you need. Thanks for listening and enjoy the show.
Hello. Yes, thanks for listening, and I do hope you enjoyed the show. This is the best moments of the BBQ Central show in 10 minutes or less. I'm your host, John Solberg, and I'm always excited to tell you that this show is brought to you by The Butcher Shop. Purveyors of highly sought-after 100% Australian non-crossbred Wylara 9 Plus briskets, and as always, they are hand-picked just for you. The Butcher Shop has been retailing the finest meats for more than 15 years. Every week, they're shipping out competition-quality meats to many of the biggest teams in the competition scene across the nation. Simply put, teams who use the Butcher Shop win, and they win often. Even if you're not a competitor, you deserve the finer cuts in life. Great news, the Butcher Shop is shipping some of the finest prime, dry-aged Australian Wagyu and Japanese Wagyu steaks to people just like you and me who aspire to be the kings and queens of the backyard. The Butcher Shop always has a Compart Duroc, Allegiance Duroc, Berkshire, and Prairie Fresh all-natural pork in stock. And again, it is always hand-picked just for you. So give the Butcher Shop a call today, 850-458-8782. That's 850-458-8782. You be sure to mention the BBQ Central show. They're going to give you 10% off your entire order each and every single time you call. You can also head over to Facebook, facebook.com/The Butcher Shop, shop spelled SHOPPE, and check them out there. The Butcher Shop, home of the 100% Australian non-crossbred Wylara 9 Plus briskets. And today, let's take a jump back to 2016. First-time guest appears, Jess Pryles.
My first guest in the second hour, described in her bio as a writer, a cook, a TV host, professional hardcore carnivore. She's also the creator of the Carnivore's Ball and a co-founder of the Australasian Barbecue Alliance. Let's go ahead and head over to the hotline and welcome first-timer to the show, Jess Pryles.
Hello.
G'day, Jess.
G'day, Greg.
Was that awesome or what?
That was spot on. I felt like I was home.
Yeah. So can you, click your camera so we can see you real quick?
Yes, hang on.
Yeah, all right. Here we go. Here it comes. There she is. So I was going to be since now you live in the state, we'll get to the whole backstory here in a second, but I was going to conduct the interview in my Australian accent, but then you were going to have to do the American accent, and we can see which one's better.
Okay.
Oh,
right.
Oh, you're really going to do that? Because I would not win, I don't think.
I can throw down with some country when I need to.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So,
I feel like I'm not centered. That's better.
Yeah, there you go. So, couple different places we can start with you, Jess. Okay, I'm not going to do that. It's really weird. So, first of all, I want to give a shout out to Noah, Amber, John over at Pit Barrel Cooker for recommending you as a guest. A few weeks later, boom, here we are. So, talk to me a little bit about the background. Australia, obviously, originally not from here, but what's it like? I don't ever want to leave the country. If there's one place I want to go, however, it is Australia for whatever reason. So, talk to me.
Like really long plane flights?
Yes, that mostly because I do have a private plane, but nevertheless, I don't know. It's just one of those places that has been kind of romantic for me. But nevertheless, what's it like kind of growing up in Australia, and kind of give me that little background about yourself?
They say there's a lot of similarities between Australia and Texas, and we get so much. I grew up with so much TV from the States and a lot of products. So in some ways, it's quite familiar. Obviously you have English, albeit the Queen's English that we have down there. There's a lot of similarities that make it compatible and not too traumatic to move from one to the other. So. We have it's also the lucky country where we have a great lifestyle there and free healthcare and some pretty great beef. So a lot of people are probably wondering why I left, but Texas was calling. and I must answer the call.
So when you're in Australia, are you somebody like growing up in the family? Is it like grilling all the time, or is your interest in barbecue sourced like later in life?
Completely later in life. I'm pretty sure she'll never listen to this, so I can say that my mother wasn't the greatest cook. She's gotten better as she's gotten older, but there was definitely my dad wasn't really a grill master by any stretch of the imagination. So, it's definitely something that came to me later in life, and it was sort of born of an idea that I enjoyed steak like any normal human being should. And, my first taste of barbecue was a phenomenal experience. And I would find myself at the grocery store in front of the meat section, just not knowing what to buy, how to cook it. And I'd often end up just buying a strip because it was just easier to cut all the fat off at once, which obviously I would hate myself now back then for doing that. And that set me on a really interesting journey of discovery and self-education on the whole thing.
So is that where it is? It's just this, I want to learn more about it, and so I'm going to hit the internet, or I'm going to buy a book, or where do you get the knowledge to realize this is something you want to hone and pursue?
I would say it was more trial and error than anything else. I think it's phenomenal to have the internet and YouTube and things like that, where you can kind of check that you're doing things the right way and just see how other people are doing it. And while obviously I would always encourage everyone to have a go at it, I think that for some people, just as with chefs, I think I'm fortunate enough to have a pretty decent palate that lets me come up with ideas for different flavors and understanding what may or may not work. And then, a lot of it is meat science. So if you can, that's something that anyone can do. If you can come to understand the science behind what's happening, that'll certainly help you. But more than anything, once you screw something up enough times, you're going to start getting it right that many more times.
Jess Pryles joining me here on the show. The website, by the way, jesspryles.com. That's JESSPRYLES. On the Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook's Jess Pryles as well. Now, I assume the passion and the learning and all this stuff for barbecue led you to that whole co-founding of the Australasian Barbecue Alliance?
Would you like to hear the rest of this show? First-time guest, Jess Pryles? Head on over to the BBQCentralShow.com. Link in today's show notes is going to take you to the complete episode. Go check that out and let me know what you think. You can let me know by sending me an email, John, John, at the BBQCentralShow.com. Love to hear from you, as always. And until next time, on the best moments of the Barbecue Central Show in 10 minutes or less, I'm your host, John Solberg. I look forward to talking to you again soon.